Hey, welcome in. Before we move, let's settle the frame for what this session actually is. This isn't a workout you're supposed to survive. It's a conversation between your nervous system and your body. The reps are the language. The rest periods are the punctuation. And the way you carry yourself between sets, that's the part most people skip. That's also the part that decides whether the work sticks. Today, we're going to move through 3 rounds. Each round has a purpose. Round 1 is contact. Can you feel and organize pressure into the ground? Round 2 is control. Can you keep that contact while you rotate, while you transition, while the angle of your spine changes? Round 3 is transfer. Can you carry force from the floor, through your hips, through your rib cage, into the next position without leaking it? That's the architecture. Contact, control, transfer, eventually command. But command is when none of this requires conscious effort anymore. We're not there today. We're at the start of the conversation. One more thing before we move. Posture is a decision about identity. When the body takes the shape of a predator, the mind stops behaving like prey. That's not a metaphor. That's biomechanics. The nervous system reads the spine before it reads the situation. So, before the first rep, I want you to decide what posture you're walking into this session with. Sternum lift, not inflated, organized. Jaw a 1/4 inch off the upper teeth. Eyes neutral, not scanning, not narrowed. Feet planted. Weight tripod through the heel and the 2 front contact points. Breath low in the belly, not in the throat. That's the body that earns the work. That's the body the next 30 minutes is going to be coached into. Not constructed from scratch. Drawn out of what's already here. Quick honest framing on what we're doing and what we're not. We are not chasing a sweat. Sweat is a side effect. We're chasing motor control under load. We're chasing fascia that knows how to share force across chains instead of dumping it into one joint. We're chasing a nervous system that stays organized when the demand goes up. That's the work. The aesthetic outcomes are downstream of the nervous system getting smarter, not the other way around. Last thing, if something hurts in a way that feels like injury, we don't push through. We adjust the angle, we reduce the range, or we step out of the round and reset. That's not weakness, that's literacy. A trained body knows the difference between sensation and damage. Part of why we're here is to learn that difference. Okay, let's move. Set yourself in beast. Hands stacked under shoulders, knees stacked under hips, knees 1 inch off the floor. That's the shape. Now find the work. Here's the why. Knees 1 inch off the floor turns this into an isometric load on your anterior core. The serratus is firing through the shoulder blades. The deep hip stabilizers are holding the femurs in the socket. This is not a stretch. This is a structural load. The reason you're shaking is that your nervous system is recruiting muscle fibers. It normally outsources to other systems. The shake is your cerebellum recalibrating, not weakness. Stay with it. Cue. Press the floor away from you. Don't sink into the shoulders. Imagine the floor is hot. You're holding it off your knees by actively pushing the ground down. That's the metaphor. one per movement. Don't add more. Breath. In through the nose for 3. Out through the nose for 5. Long exhale keeps the parasympathetic system online even while the muscles are loaded. That's how you train under stress without spiking cortisol through the roof. Now we transition to crab reach. Plant the feet. Lift the hips. The reach hand drives across the body, not up, across. The opposite hand presses the floor. Why? The cross-body reach is a contralateral motor pattern. Right hand reaches left. Left foot drives the ground. That's how the brain learns to coordinate opposite limbs under load. It's the same pattern that lives underneath running, throwing, and fighting. You're not just doing a move. You're rehearsing a motor program. Sensation check. You should feel work in 3 places. The shoulder of the planted hand, the rib cage on the reach side, and the glute of the planted foot. If you feel it mostly in the lower back, your hips dropped. Lift them. If you feel it mostly in the wrist, you collapse the planted shoulder. Press the ground harder. 2 more reaches each side. Reset to beast. 3 breaths here. Rib cage stacked. Pelvis stacked. Crown of the head reaching forward, not up. Next round, we add rotation. Same beast position. Opposite hand reaches under the body, threading the needle. The point isn't the reach. The point is what the spine has to organize through to get there. You're going to feel a stretch through the backside of the rotating shoulder and across the upper traps. Good. That's fascial. The lats and the rhomboids share connective tissue, and they don't get pulled apart often. Move slow on the way in, faster on the way out. Slow, eccentric, faster, concentric. That's the loading pattern that builds tendon resilience without burning out the muscle. Don't let the hips shift while you rotate. The whole point of beast is that the hips stay put while everything above them moves. If your hips swing, your transverse abdominis isn't holding. Repeat the cue silently to yourself. Hips are anchored, ribs are mobile. Last cue for this round. Breathe through the rotation. Most people hold their breath when they reach. Don't. The exhale is what lets the diaphragm release enough for the spine to twist cleanly. 3 more rotations each side. Then we rest 40 seconds and reset for round 2. Pause for a second. Drop the load. Stand up. Shake the hands out. I want to teach what just happened in your body, because most people feel it and don't know what they felt. That tremor in your shoulders right now, that's not weakness. That's your cerebellum firing motor units it doesn't normally have to recruit. When a movement is unfamiliar, the brain over-recruits. It calls in fibers that weren't on the original team. The shake is the recruitment process happening in real time. Stay with it for a few more breaths, and the shake will quiet down. That's the brain finding the right fiber pattern and dismissing the rest. The burn you're feeling along the inside line of your shoulder blade, that's the serratus anterior. It's the muscle that lets your scapula slide along the rib cage. Most people never load it because most training privileges the bigger pulling muscles, the lats, the traps. The serratus is what keeps your shoulder healthy when you press, when you reach overhead, when you carry. That burn means we're paying it attention. Sensation versus pain. If what you feel is hot, achy, in the muscle belly, and changes when you breathe, that's sensation. Stay with it. If what you feel is sharp, located at a joint, doesn't change with breath, and gets worse the longer you hold, that's pain. Step out of the move and we adjust. The breath you're taking right now is also data. If you can only take a shallow chest breath, your nervous system is still in the work. If you can take a slow belly breath without effort, you've already started the recovery. We use that as a marker. We don't move into the next round until the breath is back in the belly. One more thing about the shake. The shake is not something to hide from. It's not something to rush past. The shake is the most efficient feedback your body gives you that the work is reaching tissue it doesn't normally reach. People who train for years and never shake, usually it's because they've patterned around the work. They found the version of every movement that doesn't challenge anything new. The shake means you didn't pattern around it. Good. Take 3 more breaths here. Then we go again. Stand up, both feet planted, sternum tall, hands at your sides. This is the part of the session that doesn't look like training, but it is. Posture is a decision about identity. I said it at the beginning. I'm saying it again now because the body you've been moving for the last 20 minutes has already started to believe it. When the body takes the shape of a predator, the mind stops behaving like prey. That's not a metaphor. The nervous system reads the spine before it reads the situation. Your brain is constantly checking your posture and using it as evidence about how safe or unsafe the world is. Slumped spine. The world is dangerous and you're losing. Organized spine. Eyes neutral. Breath low. The world is workable and you're in it. You don't have to feel confident to take the posture. The posture comes first. The feeling arrives when the body catches up to the decision. That's the whole bridge. Body teaches mind, not the other way around. 3 movements. That's all the animator shift asks of you. Recognition, choice, embodiment. Recognition, I see what's been animating this body. Most of my life it's been on autopilot. Choice, I decide what I want, animating it next. Not what's been running, what I'm choosing. Embodiment, I let that choice live in the tissue, not in the thought, in the tissue. The work you just did, the beast holds, the crab reaches, the rotations. That was embodiment training disguised as conditioning. Every time you organized a position, you were rehearsing a decision. The decision to be in a body that handles load instead of avoiding it. The decision to be in a nervous system that stays online under stress instead of going offline. That decision doesn't only live in the gym. It's the same decision when you walk into a hard conversation. The same decision when you sit down to do work that scares you. The same decision when you decide what to eat tonight. The body learns the identity the moment the body starts behaving like it. So I want you to do one thing with me. Right now, in this body, declare it. Out loud if you can. Silently if you need to. I am the one who chooses what moves through me. I am the one who decides what this body remembers. I am the one who animates this life. Now, don't sit with that sentence. Walk into the next part of your day with it. The frequency is set. The next step is not a thought. It is a step. Find the ground. Lie down on your back if you can. Knees bent, feet flat, hands on your belly. We're going to close this session in 5 steps. This is not stretching. This is not optional. This is the part that consolidates everything the last 30 minutes did. Step 1. Parasympathetic downshift. Inhale through the nose for 4. Exhale through the nose for 8. Again. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. The longer exhale is the signal. It tells the vagus nerve that the demand is over and it's safe to come back online. Without this step, the work you did stays half stored. The exhale is what files it. Step 2. Somatic scan. Eyes closed. Notice the back of your skull pressing into the floor. Notice the place where your shoulder blades meet the ground. Notice your rib cage rising and falling without effort. Notice the contact points of your sacrum, your heels, the backs of your hands. Don't analyze, just notice. The scan is the body cataloging where the work landed. Step 3. One thing learned. In one sentence, name something your body knows now that it didn't know 30 minutes ago. Not something profound, something specific. Maybe, my serratus knows how to fire. Maybe, my breath stays low when my shoulders shake. Maybe, I can hold organized posture for longer than I thought. One sentence. That's the rep. Step 4. Identity anchor. Physical truth. Then psychological truth. The physical truth. This body just did work and stayed organized. The psychological truth. I am the one who decides what this body remembers. Let those 2 sentences sit on top of each other. That's the anchor. Step 5. Exit cue. When you stand, stand differently than you sat down. Roll to your right side first. Push up through your hand, not your back. Stand with your sternum tall. Walk out of this room in the body the work just trained, not the body you walked in with. That's the close. Thank you for the session. The conversation continues whether I'm here or not. It continues every time you decide what posture to walk into the next moment with. Good work.